We are recording, so whenever you're ready.
I'm ready as a motherfucker.
I'd love to hear that. Let's go.
Oh, you see, my patience is growing thin.
Okay, so I just say, hey, how you doing, humans? Greetings to you. And it's the night before Hanukkah, henceforth called Erev Hanukkah 2023. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're with me, just me alone, so I can tell you what's going to happen.
Well, I'm here. I'm here too, Mom.
Yeah, I'm here with my son, Jake, who I consider is just part of my own body. I don't think that he's like, I don't know. I think he's one of my personalities, is how I handle my relationship with all my kids. Later, I realized, oh, wait, they were autonomous. They weren't in my body. I don't know. It's weird. Separation anxiety. But anyway, welcome to the Roseanne Barr podcast.
My mother is sick. We had our regular podcast scheduled. We had to cancel and reschedule with our guest. I feel really bad about it because she actually is Kim Congdon. She changed her flight. But my mom has a cold. Kim is recording her comedy special and didn't want to risk getting sick. So
yeah, no shit. I don't blame her. I said, you better tell her I'm sick, because that's the worst thing a comic can do to another comic, is infect them just before they're special, just because you want them on for ratings.
Yeah, exactly. So to be nice, we did not do that podcast, and we didn't want to go a week without doing a podcast. So my mother, being the consummate professional, has decided to still do a podcast today, although from her bed. She's not feeling well, and that's why we're doing it. But between you and I, the audience, my mother's been trying to do this podcast from her bed for 20 years. So this is a great day for her.
Longer than 20. My ideal dream when I first came to Hollywood was to do my show just from my bed and have charge only 20 people to come and see it, but charge them each $1 million. And, kind of like Barbara Streisand did. She's my idol. Well, she was till she went fucking ape shit. I don't know what happened to them. They want to stay so left that they don't realize it changed and they went full on right. But anyways, here we are the night before Hanukkah, where I can start telling people the real truth about everything in the world, that I really think I can be my real self, because Hanukkah is my very favorite holiday in the world ever. It's a wonderful holiday because it's about expanding light, and light in this context means the light of intelligence. How intelligence it's unstoppable. The human intelligence, when we really tap into it, when we step beneath and behind and over the piles of bullshit they put for us to consume and take up all our thinking time about, which toothpaste should I use? Mm-hmm. And just get in that clear space so you can really, really see about Hanukkah being about every night of 8 being expanded light, 8 times light every night. So that's 8 times 8, which is 64. Am I right, Jake?
Yes, that is the correct math. Yes.
So 64 is a big, nice number that we like, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So 64 times light. Think about that.
So you're saying we have more ability and power to spread awareness and light in this time, right? Is that what you're getting at?
No, nobody can spread nothing except germs.
Right.
But we will have increased ability to receive light from the Creator, not from each other, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. That's for damn sure. And I want to say that, and people need to hear it too. Not one of us knows the first thing about truth or light. Not one of us. Some a little bit more than others, but only the Creator knows that stuff. And the rest of us just have big mouths and big egos and wants to go around pretending we speak for the creator when we sure as shit do not. But we can receive more light from the creator. We have to be able to plug in to the correct energy at the right time for the right reason with the right people. That's the whole square root of 64. That's
Okay.
eight times light. This is the time we're in. It's very amazing time where we are very, very empowered to, wrest power from the fucking pedo idiot creepazoid, reptilian Satanists, and just return it to those who are connected to receiving intelligence, which is fact and data, like Spock, only fact, only data, because that's what the creator made us to do. He didn't make us to, dance around in circles and try to create magic spells or worship trees or nothing, That ain't what he did.
All right. So this is a special time. I have a question though. Since you're talking, heavily about your Jewish religion, which you do a lot, but once again,
I'm not even calling it the Jewish religion anymore because I'm so pissed off at the Jews. I mean, all I do is hear from the Jews. The Jews call me all the time just to bitch at me. They call to tell me how I'm failing to represent them as a Jew. Well, I'll tell you what, not one of them opens their big fucking mouth to say a word ever.
Right.
So, but all they do is go, hey, you didn't say it. You interviewed Tucker Carlson and you didn't jump down his shit and call him the worst of the fucking worst because he said this and he said that. So I'm like, can you send me the thing he said that you think he said?
Right.
Because I don't recall him saying nothing like that. And otherwise I wouldn't be hanging out with the guy,
Right.
So, I mean, figure that much out because I actually do put my ass on the line. I do. I don't hide behind nothing, I'm not taking secret money. I put my ass on the line for the creator, for intelligence, for fact, for data, for truth. Truth is true. It's never a lie and it's never just an opinion. It's always true and it's provable.
I love that. But so I didn't know that Jews were getting on you for talking to Tucker because I think we have to clear this for people today. This would be a great.
How it starts.
Hold on real quick.
How dare you?
We have different kinds of Jews because Jews, despite what people think, are human beings. Therefore, there are different kinds of Jews. So whenever anyone says
and some of them's nothing but dirty, big mouth, bitter ass bitches that will looking to start a fight with whoever can give them any energy because they're just
is that your kind or is that someone else?
No, I'm not that kind.
Oh, okay.
So I said no, but he said you had the opportunity to confront him and you did not. I said, well, first of all, I don't know of anything he said that was offensive to the Jews. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're bringing it to my attention. Could you send me the link to something he said? Because I know what he said. And it now here's where it gets all fuzzy. So she says, and he dares to defend Julian Assange, who is a real Jew hater. As you know, Roseanne, Julian Assange is a anti-Semite and he should stay in prison. He should never be let out of prison.
Wow. So whoever this person is, she's the kind of Jew that everybody hates, to be clear. She's the one causing problems for the rest of us. What a hideous thing to say.
No, you can't say it that way. That is not how God wants you to say it. He wants you to say it like this. If you cannot get out of the negative, if you can't get out of the victim thing, see that, because that's communist, that is commie fascist mind control programming. And that's, they did it to the Jewish people on purpose.
Right.
So now every time, of course, we have PTSD. I mean, of course we do. It's been 70 years since most of us lost all our families.
Yeah.
And we don't lie about it. We just go, oh, we have no answer, Uncle. You know, we know we don't.
Right.
So, you know, anyway. But then they talk about the ultimate war of wars, and they talk about good versus evil, and then they don't ever really look deep enough as to, when they say it's biblical, do they not know that means it's about the Jewish people? Do they not know that's what biblical means? They don't. Which is another part of that mind control programming. It's to separate you from source. And Jewish people who are separated from source, they are paranoid, they're negative, and they are hateful. And that ain't going to work no more.
No, and that's why we don't like the left, because that's also the left. The LGBT movement right now is doing the same thing. It's a victimization, but it's for power and leverage. It's not, I'm victimized, feel sorry for me. It's, I'm victimized, you will do as I say. And that's communist mind control. It goes back a long time. So the Jews that do that, I find particularly disgusting, between you and I.
But they don't know they're doing it because they've never, because I used to be one of them, you know?
Yeah, me too.
And because I was raised on the MK Ultra farm there with all that stuff. And of course I saw evidence of it. But you know, when I was young, it was like, oh, I'm always going to fight the fascists and the Nazis, you know? So that was a deal I made with, you know, my conscience and heaven, if you want to put it that way, because I had to oppose that. I couldn't live if I wasn't opposing that. So, you know, that became my thing. So, you know, in whatever
still
form
is.
I'm going to oppose it, it's not always going to be that way. It's in my DNA, you know.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, that's what you're doing now. Because they go, what happened to you, Roseanne? You switched. And it's like, I've been saying this for years. No, you haven't. Everyone else switched. The fascists she's fighting used to be right wingers, and today they're left wingers, and that can change. But the point is, you're always going to stand up against fascism and Nazi mind control, because everything bad that has ever happened in the history of humanity is when those people have been in power, whatever you want to call them.
Well, they are self-appointed inquisitors and censors and, you know,
fascists.
Capos. They're capos. Yeah. They're like, they go to the Nazis and they go, you know, how many of, you know, they're colluders. And every people has them, you know. And they are always the leaders. That's the horror. They are always the leaders who supposedly speak for the minority communities, and they don't.
No.
They're always saying, hey, we're going to help cover up the people that are laying in the street in their own shit. And we're going to cover that up. And we're going to keep talking about Trump and racism. Right. You know, it's just all a grift, every part of it. We already know the Republicans are nothing but grifters. Right. I mean, we knew that one, you know, when I'm in my 40s, I knew that one.
That's why I always said, I want to get back to hating Republicans. I always say, I want to get back. I want things to get normal enough that I can go back to not liking Republicans. Like, that's where I want America to go. Like the good old days, but they're not nearly as bad in comparison as the left and the Democrats today. So I give them people always go, how come you don't attack the right more? You're a moderate. It's because they're really not doing 1/10 of the bad shit that the left is. So when things are better and we can focus, we will.
No, they're even worse than that. They're colluders.
Yeah.
So they're going, hey, I'll sell all the people that look like me down the river if I get the right price. And that's how you get a job there. And now look at the Republicans. look, and they had the majority, so they had to fuck it up. They can't be for the people, because if they are going to vote for the people and the people keeping their own damn tax money, that's what it's about.
Yep.
Instead of losing their homes and stuff, instead of losing their homes and can't get any health care.
Well, you're talking about.
Oh, it's all Trump. Oh, it's all Trump. Oh, it's all Biden. They're all.
Yeah.
They're all. I mean, I was going to go like this, but it's more like this. That's what it is. It's not about. It's 100%.
Well, you're talking. Just so people know what we're talking about, McCarthy is going to be stepping down, it looks like, and according to the New York Times, this just broke this morning. If he steps down, Governor Newsom gets to appoint his replacement, and Santos was already expelled. So it looks like Republicans are going to lose control of the House. At least I'm not an expert, but that's what it looks like. So when my mother's talking about they had majority and they give it up, that's what's happened in the last couple hours, just so people know.
I see it as like, okay, now, people don't know this about Hanukkah, but Hanukkah is the fulfillment of Purim. So that's when you're talking about the boomerang, and I always tell this to 107 and all them. The boomerang, it concludes at Hanukkah.
Okay.
So already it's like I'm bummed that we've totally lost our country because Republicans didn't have. They had too much shit on them. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. And who's got the dirty pictures? Who's got more dirty pictures than the other side? And so now it looks like, and also who's got street gangs? And of course, all the Republicans who had anybody out on the street to counter Antifa and the terrorists, pro-Palestinian terrorists. They're all in prison. So it's like way past step one, like the Proud Boys or anybody who countered Stalinist violence and burning down of cities, and, for the express purpose of harming the Black population, which, that's really why I got fired. That's really why I got fired. But
I agree.
I always try to warn Black people of what the Democrats got in store for them, because when I saw them, I hightailed it out of there. That's why I left, because I saw the racism and I saw what they'd planned. What they planned in 2008, when most of the people that lost their house were the single mothers who had sent their children to fight for the United States in war, and most of them were of color. They're the ones that lost their houses. So it is so dirty. I mean, if you have any allegiance to either side, you're nothing but a damn idiot.
I agree. Can we go back? We got to talk a little bit, because I love what you're saying, but because nobody's saying this on their podcast. When we go back to talking about Judaism and the way the world is in anti-Semitism, and Tucker Carlson, because that's how you open the show, that someone got mad at you for not calling out Tucker, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. Like, we know all this stuff. Elon Musk, basically Disney, everyone's pulling ads. They're trying to destroy Twitter. And their argument is that Twitter is allowing anti-Semitism. So I just want to get two things out, Ma, if you don't mind, that I think are really, really important. One, not every Jew's the same. So there are left-wing Jews, Media Matters, the Jews in Hollywood, all the stuff that the alt-right and the left hate in Jews. Those are very, very real people. A lot of them are Jewish. A lot of them are in control. George Soros, for example, they're doing horrible shit to this country. That is not all Jews. So when Elon Musk or Tucker or Candace Owens or us call out those people, we're obviously and honestly and usually, and you were this week, slapped with the anti-Semitic label, even though you're a Jew. So what they do is I
want to just say the truth is, all Jews are anti-Semitic. Yeah, all Jews hate fucking Jews. Yeah. That's why the joke goes, did you hear about the Jew that was stranded on a desert island? They sailed in there to find him, rescue him, and they said, how'd you survive? He goes, well, I built myself a synagogue, and I also built myself a temple. And they go, why did you have two? He goes, so I could have the one I refuse to go to. That's how we are. And we have to fight against each other. That's what it says in Torah, says that the reason the temple was destroyed was because of the hatred of one learned Jew to another, two rabbis, because of the hatred of two rabbis toward each other for no damn good reason. Just hate.
Yep.
No damn good reason. Because it says, the Bible says, if you got a damn good reason to hate, good.
Yeah.
There's a reason you hate.
Yeah.
But if you hate for no damn good reason, you just hate, that is not good. And the fruit of that ain't good on your own body, because that is going to make you make too much bile. Yeah. And that leads to heart disease. Now, all these things are stuff that Judaism teaches us. But do you think one of these bitches running around talking about this and that knows that about Judaism? No, they don't. And I feel like, oh my God, I guess I'm like Crazy Horse. I always thought I was like Crazy Horse. I'm just documenting the end of my tribe because there's no structure in place for it to continue. And I feel like I am the last of it, like Crazy Horse was.
Yeah.
And, he had to go to, there's always in every revolution, there's always a negotiator and a terrorist in every revolution. And,
lucky for you, you're both.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
But anyway, just let me wrap this up. So what Tucker said, I just want to clear this for people because I'm so sick of all this bullshit. You saw what they tried to do to you for your Bill Maher interview, saying that you were saying all Jews are inbred. Like, this is what messaging does. The shit that drives me crazy.
All Jews are inbred.
I know. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Just let me finish.
European Jews are all inbred.
I understand. What I'm saying is,
100 people in a village, and they end up with 20,000. Hello, what do you marry your cousin like my whole family did? My family is all cousins intermarried with cousins. Hello.
I understand. We're going to get there. What I'm saying is, Tucker is calling out sending money to Israel, just like he consistently does about Ukraine. Now, a lot of conservatives do not like our tax money going to other countries. Now, that's it. That's the basis of what Tucker said. It's not anti-Semitic. He is entitled to his opinion. The conflating is because he was talking about Israel. Now he's anti-Jew. But of course, when he says don't send money to Ukraine,
my God, I love that he said that. And I agree, because I feel like Israel, I've said this 100 times, Israel should refuse to take American money at this point. Because look at Biden and what's her name, Kamala Harris over there, and telling Israel, hey, you got no choice but to kill yourself.
Right.
Don't be taking that money. Hello. Yeah. What are you better go back and, you're a Jew. Are you a Jewish state?
Yeah.
Is this a Jewish state? Because that's not what you do. You don't go, oh, I'm going to kill myself because that's what that'll make somebody some money.
Or I don't want to look mean, so I'm going to kill myself. Yeah, no, I agree. I think if Israel could do what, be left to their own and we weren't supplying and there was no connection, I think 95% of anti-Semitism in America would dissipate immediately because a lot of it is about funding Israel.
Well, but if they fund Israel to be the voice of shit the Jewish people don't want no part of. They just want to be left alone in their place, They want to be where their sacred ancestors that they worship through the Torah are buried so that they can visit those holy places. In the Arab world, you see, that says Israel is apartheid, you see. Mm-hmm. And Israel is, of course, the only nation where all religions can go to their holy places. None of the Arabs, you can't go. No Jew.
Well, you can go. You're just going to get beheaded.
No, you cannot go. You cannot go. No, because I tried it. Mm-hmm. Okay. That includes Esther and Mordecai's tombs.
Right.
It is like everything that the fucking anti-Semites say is the opposite of the truth of people's lives.
Right.
And then they censor those people from ever speaking. That's how
Right.
they do it. Not just they do it to everybody. They
Yes.
say what you mean. Here's what you meant.
Mm-hmm.
We heard what you said. And here's what you meant.
Right.
She meant, here's what she said, but here's what she meant. And you know what? Man.
They're never the same. They're never the same.
But they get that self-righteous thing going, and then they all jump on that self-righteous bandwagon that, it's like, that's why I liked, what was the name? Borat.
Yeah.
They're always trying to kill the Jews.
Oh, throw the Jews down the well. It's the funniest, one of the funniest things he's ever done. And that was a real video. He pretended to be Muslim and sing a song about killing Jews. And he was in like a country bar in South America, and the southern end of America, like in the South. And they were, throw the Jew down the well. It was hilarious.
But they knew that it was a joke. I could tell.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they were probably being nice to sing along, but I guarantee you, this is what I want to talk about. So let me just say
because you know what? Honestly, he has to warn people by law. I know, because I do that fake reality show too. So those people is going along with it, and they don't want to be tricked at the end,
All right.
But
Well, whatever it is, what I'm saying is you have reports about you being, again, congrats, by the way, another anti-Semitic thing. So I wanted you to have a chance to talk about it. You went into it earlier, but this is now the time to talk about your inbreeding Jew comment, if you can answer to that.
Yeah, it's true. Because like I have it in my act. Like my mom said she found it when I was like 16. My mom's like, we found it. Her attitude was like, we finally found a Jewish guy that wants to date you. So my first thought was, are we related? Because I didn't want to be with anyone related, because I looked around my family all the time. I was like, these people are inbred.
They are. They 100% are. Yeah.
I know. They did really crazy things. Like inbreeding, like all you want to know about inbreeding, just look at the Queen of England. That is what it is. And we're that too.
Do you know what pure blood means, or blue blood? Do you know what that means?
It's like the Jews. We want to stay in our blood.
But that actually means like family marriage, brother, sister. That's how you keep the bloodline pure. Everyone always thinks, oh, King Henry did this, and no, he was boinking his sister.
That's the royals.
But that's what I'm talking about, not the Jews. No, but when the royals do it, it's called blue blood. It's called. You have to let me finish. It's called blue blood when the royals do it, but they're also inbred. That's all I'm saying.
Jake, Pharaoh, kings were created when a sister and brother mated. That's how they got a king. That happened in the royal Hawaiian, in the Hawaiian Islands too.
Yeah.
And that was broken by, not too far before America took over Hawaii. That was called the ultimate taboo. It was called a taboo to not do that.
Right. Right.
But, it's the same for, the Jewish people in small villages. I mean, I don't know that they could travel around too much to find other Jewish people,
Well, the Mormons did it, and right now in Arab cultures, they're heavily inbred. This is fact, and it's not good to mate with your brother and sister because your kids end up being really fucked up. So it's not a good,
not always.
That might be the big problem, but a lot of the time.
No, I'm going to say this because I did study that. Okay. And your kids, they aren't always born all messed up.
Oh,
but you see, you've introduced something in there that 3 generations down, something's going to spring up.
Right.
Because you put some peas in the pod there that shouldn't have been in that pod of DNA, So like kids are, you introduced, what it's in Torah is, oh, well, God, it's in Torah about Lot and his daughters. Oh my God. But we won't go into that.
No, but the point is, you are not an anti-Semite. You're a Jew. You've been now called a Holocaust denier, saying Jews are inbred, and then whatever else it comes up with this week. But I find it really funny, and this is why I'm bringing this up. This week,
then I told you, Jake,
never
the
get it.
one Jews called me.
Yeah.
The one Jews called me because they were like, "How dare you not confront?" Oh my God, I forgot to put my fake tooth in to show everybody my teeth.
Well, hold on. We'll come back to it. You got to finish a thought before we go to the next thought. That's that's the biggest complaint we get for you. So I was trying to say, Elise Stefanik, I don't know if you saw, I'm tying this in, was meeting with the president of Harvard and other universities and asking them, I don't know if you saw that clip. It's hilarious.
I did see it.
Basically is calling for the Holocaust and genocide of Jews. Is that protected speech at Harvard, or is that speech that gets you in trouble? Because if you say kill all the blacks or whatever, they'll throw you out of Harvard. But you can say kill all the Jews. So my point here is, and we'll play that clip later, isn't it funny that you as a Jewish woman go on Bill Maher, who's a Jew, right? And you talk about but it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. You went on and you talked about how Jews have inbred, which is factually accurate. And you are in more trouble as being an anti-Semite than kids on college campuses asking for all Jews to be killed. Don't you find that amusing?
No, I don't find it amusing at all. Knowing that it's coming from the exact same people.
Right.
I mean, talk about cognitive dissonance. How fucking much can you hate yourself? I mean, really? How much dick can you gobble with 2 goddamn hands? I can't take it. How much cock can you fucking deep throat and up the asshole too in every other opening? And you fucking let that dick and that snake get in there, girls. No. You got to close all that shit down. Because they'll fuck you right in the eyeballs too before they let you die. And they shoot you through the head. Hello? Stop feeding that monster, you fucking idiots. That's what Hanukkah's about.
I like it. I think now it's time to talk about our first ad. I think that's a good lead in. I'm sure they would love, right, from getting fucked in the eyeballs to talk about this exciting product. But
listen, that's what they said.
I know. We'll come back to it.
7th,
we have to read the ad right now. It's time permitting, and then we'll come back.
Do you ever stop interrupting me?
That's fucking hilarious. You've literally interrupted every comment on the show is how you interrupt me. I'm trying to set you up for an ad that you have to read now because we're at the minute mark where you have to read it, and you're talking about getting fucked in the eyeballs. Just read the fucking ad, and then we can come back to you getting fucked in the eyeballs.
That is what these Satanist motherfuckers, they don't have any no. They don't have any no. You have to stop defending those kind of people. You stupid fucking bitches. You cannot defend rapists, you stupid fucking bitches. God damn it, wake up.
Well said. Anyway, tell people about the exciting product, Field of Greens, while you're at it.
Field of Greens, if it wasn't for Field of Greens, I'd probably be dead right now, what with all the stress I'm going through with what's happening to the Jewish people and how they won't listen to me. Yeah. Even though I'm the only Jew on earth who knows what's going on. And let me tell you, it's very isolating. It's very isolating.
Well, also you are sick, you have a cold, and you have pretty good energy. Like you look like shit last night. And today you're up, you're sitting up. I mean, you sound bad. But I mean, don't say if it's not true, but do you think the Field of Greens, which you've been taking daily, is helping you recover faster, or is that bullshit?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I feel, I really do. Because I was only like down 24 hours with the cough. And of course I went through the thing. Oh no, do I have that white lung? Oh, you know, that horror that they say is going on in China and stuff. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I'm not going to react to it. I didn't react to COVID. I'm not going to react to this, but I do know.
Well, I have to react to everything because I am so afraid of all these diseases that they're just unleashing on us. They're in America. They're going to unleash hell on us, hell on America. And everybody's going to try to just ignore it while it's going on all around them till they can't ignore it anymore, I guess.
I agree. So what's this exciting offer you have for Field of Greens? that you like to tell people about?
Well, you might as well feel as good as you can and as strong as you can for as long as you can, because the shit ain't gonna stop. So you're not gonna lay there half dead going, "Oh, help me, take me, Lord," because nobody's gonna help you. Nobody is gonna come and help you.
Right.
So it's best you're strong and take care of yourself. Get yourself out of the way. So be on Field of Greens like me. So you're like recover faster, feel better. Look at me, I'm already on fire today.
You do. It's just fruit and vegetables pulverized. Now on your screen, remember I put up the promo code for you at the bottom right. Can you pull that up and read that for people so they know where to get?
I don't know how to do that.
If you just open your computer, it's on the bottom right.
I'm on my computer.
Yeah, but just put your cursor to bottom right. I put that article, or I'll
I got it.
Okay, here we go.
All right, here I go. Let me get you started with 15% off your first order. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code RB. That's promo code RB at fieldofgreens.com. Fieldofgreens.com.
Excellent. Okay, now we can get back into eyeball fucking on October 7th. So you were saying about eyeball fucking?
Now I can't see you.
I know, it's your turn to talk.
Well, I don't have you anywhere.
Oh, you still have the Field of Greens ad? All right, go up to your screen and minimize that with the.
How do you minimize something?
You put your cursor at the top left, and there's the green and the yellow and the red.
Do I go yellow?
Yeah, just do yellow, and then you should see me.
No, you're not there at all.
Pull up your Chrome, because that's what StreamYard's Chrome. Pull up Chrome.
Chrome. There you are.
All right, good job.
Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
All right, so you were saying?
You might as well feel as strong as you can for as long as you can. Now you don't want to be dragged around by your hair. Oh my God. It's just terrifying the things that are going on. And I don't think it can be turned back. It doesn't look like it can be turned back because, if only I feel like, if only the Jews could do what they're supposed to do just once.
What is that? Because I'm a Jew. I'm ready. Oh, I wanted to say that. There's two different kinds of Jews. There's millions of kinds, but there's also like
there's
conservative.
25,000 kinds.
But there's also a conservative right wing, which is mostly what Israel is, of sane and rational Jews.
In America, you mean?
Well, America and Israel. Like there are a lot of. There's probably more moderate to right-leaning rational Jews than the crazy lefties. If we really looked into it, and all the lefties are in New York and LA, and they're batshit crazy. Of course, they are in charge and run everything. But the rest of us think they're just as horrible as the rest of you. I just want to get that out. Do you agree or no?
I just feel so bad for them because I know that they feel they've been brainwashed into thinking that they're doing the right thing. I don't think they're
evil.
I don't think they're all that hateful as much as they are just misguided, and that's why I try to appeal to their common sense. But they ain't got a lot of that, it don't seem.
Well, we talked about this before. If it's PTSD or trauma-based mind control, right? Because we were both leftists, so we know the thinking. We think we're standing up for the little guy. We think, I know what they all think. It's actually good intentions. It's just batshit crazy because it's coming from a self-isolation and a feeling of victimization for the purposes of power. It's not actually defending the little guy. It's using the little guy as a pawn so that you can step over him and get your own shit, which is disgusting. That's why I don't like the left. I like the left that wants to help the little guy and bring everyone medicine. Like you and I are still left with that shit. Like we're not anti the little guy. We're not anti helping minorities. Like we still believe in that shit. But the movement now, the reason we left is because right now it's about victimization as a power tool. And that's disgusting because there's actual victims out there that they're ignoring. And I think their intention could be good. Maybe it was 15, 20 years ago, but right now I don't think it's good. I think they're fully aware that they're pushing an agenda. I think they want Trump supporters to suffer. I think they all want us in jail. They want us in prison. They want to destroy your life. That comes from hate. That comes from abuse of power. That is not defending the little guy. That's being a prick. And every leftist Democrat we know that we used to be aligned with, I'm not going to call anyone out, but we know some of those people very closely. They, if you talk to them for 30 seconds, you see this rage come out of them where they want you to be fucking in an internment camp or dead. It's not a disagreement. So that's what, it's not about Israel, what Tucker said. It's not about Jews, or it's about good versus evil, which we also talked about with Tucker. And if your hate is coming out of you and you want people to die, or Assange should be in prison.
Tucker's point, hold on a minute. I thought Tucker's point was a good one, and I made it too, was that the conservative Jewry in America, has said nothing when they were teaching CRT in the public schools, which was teaching that was the hierarchy of power, and meaning all white people are horrible. They were okay with them teaching that.
Right.
And they only got pissed when they came. Then the Jews were white.
That's
right. Then they snuck that one in because they couldn't have started with that one.
Right.
But that was a wedge, and then they worked up to. But the whole thing is like the whole reason we have that kind of anti-Semitic thing on our campuses. There's a reason for it. You follow the money. And if they took money from rich Arabs who said you must make it, our religion teaches us that the Jews are no good. And so you got to portray that or you don't get the money. I mean, that needs to be looked into too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's right there. These are lawsuits after lawsuits to keep BDS off of the campus, and
let me say this:
20 years people have been fighting that.
That old saying: if you ever want to know who rules you, look at who you can't make fun of. Do you know that saying? Yeah. You can say, I could say this right now on YouTube. I'll probably get promoted on. Jews run everything, totally fine. Now, if I mention the Muslim Brotherhood running everything, well, now there's going to be some hell to pay. Now we're going to get fucking deplatform shit. Why is that? Why can you say Jews are in charge of everything and everyone thumbs up? And as soon as you mention the Muslim Brotherhood, which, by the way, is a lot more powerful and a lot more money than any Zionist organization, by a lot.
Then AIPAC by 100.
Yeah, and also the population. They're in multiple countries. There's over 1 billion of them. And there are 14 million Jews. So I can say Jews run everything totally fine. But if I mention the Muslim Brotherhood, well, I mean, you did mention the Muslim Brotherhood one time and we know what happened. So that should tell you something. I'm not going to go off on a conspiracy theory, but at least
Brotherhood is a very, very wealthy organization that employs many Jews.
No shit. They're huge.
So they have to be, those Jews, they have to be loyal to their employers.
I understand, but you can say that the Jews are the employers. The Jews are the ones, the lobbying groups. The Jews are the ones putting all their, shifty Jew fingers on everything. But the Muslim Brotherhood, which has a lot more money, you can't talk about. Why can't we talk about?
Lobbyists are representatives of people with money.
Right. Right.
Lobbyists are the middlemen. But
I understand.
They represent big bucks, Yeah.
But right now on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere around the world, you can call into question the Jewish power dynamics, but nobody's talking about Arabs, Arab money, Muslim brother. Nobody's talking about it. And at the very least, it should be in the same conversation. Like, oh, Jews do it, Muslims do it too, Christians do it. Like they're all lobbies, but the Muslims always left out. The Muslim Brotherhood never in the conversation. See, Jew or Christian, white, European, conservative, these are evil. Then you got the Jew here. Never any mention. Now, let me ask you, why would that be? Why would it be okay to critique Israel? But the general arguments are, well, Hamas is justified because they're, everything's justification and occupation. It's happening here. that if it were reversed, if you could not critique Israel and Jews, then I would say maybe Jews really do run everything. But if you can critique Jews all day long in Israel without any sort of backlash, but you can't even bring up the Muslim Brotherhood, that tells me something. That's all I'm going to say. Just pointing that out.
Well, there's many other things, not just the Muslim Brotherhood, although they're deeply embedded in the Obama administration.
Absolutely.
Especially in the State Department, and people should look into that. I was hoping they would, but of course people just don't want to question anybody who is an icon and a champion.
Don't want to question, or
no, they don't want to question. Well, they see Obama as an icon and a champion, and they don't want to question anything that he stood for or did. I get, or, I mean, a lot of
media coverage of Obama was kid gloves. Like they treated him like royalty since the beginning.
Because he was royal, Jake, because he was, the ushering in of American socialism.
Right.
And so he was treated with kid gloves because everybody's a damn socialist. Everybody in the news was a socialist.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Fox, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And, but even them, I mean, they're all just socialist in America means something different. It means socialist in America means they socialize the risk and then privatize the profit.
Absolutely.
So it isn't even socialism. It's that billionaire type of socialism, like Bill Gates and all them, that I am God type of phallocracy that I call it, the phallocracy. But
I always say that it's when you look the argument of capitalism versus socialism, because neither side's perfect, right? But which one has a middle class? Is it socialism or capitalism? Which one?
No
so they both, the top 1% runs everything. There's poor getting crushed in both. Capitalism, you actually have a chance to survive somewhere in the middle. That's the difference, which is why they hate it. Because the people on top in socialism, they don't even want a middle class because they're like, they're taking my shit. It's got to be serfs and me. Where in capitalism, it's like, okay, you can have a house and a car too. That's as long as I get my yacht and go hit it out. Which, I mean, I'm fine with. That's why I'm not a socialist. But anyway, let's move on. Socialists
always have to have blood too. They always have to have bloodletting and wars because they're so angry because they're just so fake oppressed as they steal everyone's money, just like the capitalists do. They're living large, those socialist billionaires.
Oh my God! Look at Hamas, the leaders of Hamas. Did you see that interview with Jared Kushner talking about how when he met with Netanyahu, when he met with Hamas, when he was in the White House, and he was like, Netanyahu, we're flying commercial. We met here, and he's like, when the leader of Hamas, he came in, he had someone light a cigarette. He flew in a private jet. It's like, okay, which one is the occupied little guy freedom fighter, and which one is the $1 billion organization? It's
I can see now, looking back on it, the whole thing is that it was always intriguing to me that the UN made it their business to try to undo the state of Israel for about 50 solid years after it founded itself by creating the state of Israel. Mm-hmm. So I always knew there was something going on there where there was kind of a grift and a yank to it, because nothing happens in that part of the world that wasn't totally the British Empire, and it's still like that. Yeah. People can bullshit themselves all they want, but it's still like that. As long as they got a king, it's still like that.
Absolutely. And it was the Ottoman before that, and the Greeks before that. Romans, the Greek. There's always been empires that control that part of the world. Nothing new here. All right, I want to bring up a story to you.
The new is though that Hanukkah is the celebration of kicking the ass of several.
The Romans?
Well, it's the Hellenists and the Romans too. And it might be the British crown after tomorrow night. It could be that.
Well,
because
all I know is
they seem to be in quite a bit of trouble. That royal, those Rothschild, Rockefeller, Windsor, Swiss folk, the German, that whole EU crowd, Davos, all that. They're in some peril, it seems.
well, that's a good lead into the story I want to bring up.
What?
I know you've been following that Senator, I think she's a senator, Blackburn wanted to release the Epstein client logs, and she brought it up, and it was blocked, oddly enough, by Democrat Dick Durbin. I don't know if you saw that last week, but when you talk about royals being in trouble, I mean, we know Prince Andrew's certainly on that list, and there's probably a lot more, but those...
Yeah, everybody in Congress is on there.
Probably. That's why they won't release it. And
probably the Senate, probably the SCOTUS, probably the Department of Justice and the FBI. I bet you every one of them's been down there.
Absolutely. And when he blocked it, it was like this little story died. And, to me, it's like, this is the biggest story. I mean, we were talking about this back today when Pizzagate broke, right? Like, this global elite pedophile ring is real. So they're always talking about, oh, it's crazy conspiracy. And then it gets more and more mainstream, like, oh, shit. Then Jeffrey Epstein kills himself in prison. We all know that was bullshit, right? So now it's mainstream. Everybody knows that there is a global elite pedophile ring. Like, it's known. And anyone that says otherwise is just lying or paid. So there is this list that shows people that were implicated in this global elite pedophile ring, which is 100% real. I'd like to bring that up time and time again. And we can't see the list, right? You can, January 6th, if you walked into the Capitol, you're in prison. If you're on camera, you're in prison. But if you were operating and involved in an elite pedophile child trafficking ring, you are blocked and protected by Senate. So this is pretty much clear that we were right all along, that these people are corrupt. And it just kind of went away with a whimper. It was like, oh, yeah, he blocked it. And Dick Durbin's also talking about letting illegals come to America and join the military so that they can vote. And that's what's pissing people. Everyone's like, Dick Durbin did what? He's letting, but it's like, yeah, well, he also blocked the client list of the elite pedophile ring. We should be more mad about that. And nobody's even talking about it. So I wanted to get your thoughts.
I just think they're gonna fight for as long as they can to keep it from coming out, even if it seems like, even if they have to shut down the entire internet or blow the world up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think to them it's a do or die situation. And because you wouldn't want people, I mean, any kind of blackmail, you wouldn't want people to know about that.
No.
But it must be so horrible. I mean, it's beyond the usual getting your wiener gnawed on by some, who knows what.
I love your description. Sorry, you were saying. Yeah, no, it's not like, they're obviously not just like going to like a high class escort service with like willing participants. Like, I think we'd all be like, well, that's kind of like Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the Oval Office. We all kind of were like, whatever, he lied under oath, he got impeached, big deal. But like, nobody really cared.
I was out of my mind over that.
You were?
I went out of my mind. I had Paula Jones on my talk show. That's why they killed my talk show. Yeah. But I was like, I cannot believe that happened. That everybody said, yeah, it happened, and then that was the end of it.
Well, that was the genius of Bill Clinton. I remember that because it came out. Remember Jennifer Flowers? They're like, oh, he's cheating. It's done. And he's like, yeah, I did it. Me and Hillary were working through marriage counseling, and everyone was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess they're human. It worked in his favor, actually. He went up.
Well, I mean, there's a part of that that's kind of true,
Yeah, it was brilliant. He's a brilliant.
I can't stay faithful, or maybe I don't have to. Maybe my wife's gonna let me do whatever I want to do. A lot of them are like that,
Well, that's why you marry a lesbian, and that's why Bill Clinton married Hillary Clinton.
You're gonna try to get us killed on here.
I mean, we all know that Hillary. I mean, I'll say allegedly, but this is like when we used to talk about Kevin Spacey being a pedophile. And
you're gonna try to get us killed here.
I don't give a shit. I'm just saying, okay, do you think if someone found my search history on my Google, yeah, I would probably burn everything down and kill everyone. So I can only imagine what's going to happen. So do you think, I guess what I'm getting at is, do you think everything that's happening, even tie in World War III in Ukraine and Israel, this is obviously the cover-up corruption of the American government and participating in willing governments around the world, right?
Duh.
Hell yeah, we'll say it.
From the top to the bottom of the big power pyramid of that big club that we ain't in, like George Carlin says. But, think about what they do. I mean, everybody's blind to what's right in front of their face. That's the sad part. But think about what they do, that Klaus Schwab up there at the WEF.
Oh, the Klaus Schwab that Bill Maher has never heard of, despite interviewing people associated with WEF. That one? That
was amazing.
Wasn't it? I got all these comments.
He asked me about the racist tweet, and I just went off on that racist tweet bit.
Yeah.
I think that people are talking about that too, aren't they?
You're generating a lot of conversation. That's what you do. And I got contacted by Newsweek for a comment. My favorite thing they asked me. It was so funny.
They're so arrogant. They don't get it at all. It reminds me of that Bob Dylan song. It goes, but something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Mr. Do Jones. You, Mr. Jones?
Yeah. Well, they asked me, they said, since your mom always says she's taken out of context, why does she continue to speak? Was basically what they had asked me.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, do you want to take responsibility for taking it out of context? Or you just want her to stop saying things that you can take out of context? Because to me, if I take something out of context, like they do to Tucker or whatever, I would feel responsible for doing that. Like, oh, I'm lying about what they said, or I'm misrepresenting. I'm the asshole. But the American media is like, oh, I'm going to take this out of context and ruin your life. And if you don't like it, then stop speaking. Why are you speaking?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? That's insanity.
It's insanely sexist, but they're getting away with that now because they took away the sexist part and put in the trans Jesuit stuff. Just got women like me out. It's not a joke.
I don't think it's limited to just sexism. I know what you're saying, but I think they're doing it to everybody who just tells the truth. I think it's more.
Well, that would mostly be women like me.
Yeah.
And men like me, we're the ones getting shut up because we actually dissent from this left-wing power bullshit.
Yeah.
And we really dissent the way they treat Trump because, man, they are, I say they're showing America what they've done to black people all along.
Yeah, it's pathological. It's insanity. It's derangement. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And it's overt. It's overt.
Because you sometimes wonder when you watch those shows about, they get a black guy gets out of prison after 25 years of saying he didn't do it. And then DNA clears him. And then they go back and look at the trial, implanting false evidence, not allowing the defense to know about it. Everything that they're doing to Trump, that's what they do to just convict any black guy to get, a conviction so they can get reelected as the district attorney. Just dirty from the top. And it's in full. It's in full vision of the American people to see it and not let themselves be pulled into either camp of going, well, they deserved it or they didn't, don't even go there. There's no two sides to it. No. It's about dissent and militarizing the police force, which that's why I quoted the movie Planet of the Apes, because everybody should go back and watch that movie.
I agree. It's one of my favorite. All right. A couple more things to go over. I got notes here. It looks like they are going to open an official impeachment inquiry. I remember when Mike Johnson said there wasn't enough evidence. We all freaked out like he's a fucking traitor, but he was just waiting for more evidence. And to me, it's an open and shut case. There's even more that came out, but I just wanted to get your thoughts again on the potential impeachment inquiry. And for people who don't know what that is, that's where they meet and say, hey, should we move forward with the impeachment process? Just an inquiry, which the Republicans haven't done yet, despite Biden being corrupt as all hell and it's obvious. Now, the Democrats impeached Trump twice without doing this. They just impeached him. So Republicans are trying to be smart, which is why I don't like them. Why you're being smart? Just fucking play dirty like the opposing sides. But maybe in the end, it'll be better. But anyway, that is going to happen in the next week or two. So are you excited about it, or do you think it's going to be another cover-up like the elite pedophile ring?
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I talked too much. The impeachment inquiry, they are going forward with it on Biden, it looks like. So what do you think? Are you excited?
Well, here's what I think. I think that everybody knows Biden's on the way out there. He can't, he's wearing the adult diapers there. And Bill's had about enough of that. He's had enough. So China thinks he has till the end of December before he's gone. So China's got to make all their moves now. A lot of those being in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. So they're just, they'll huff and puff, and I don't know that they'll blow anybody's house down. When they call it an impeachment inquiry, I don't want to laugh. But whatever, China knows they got till the end of this year, or possibly a little bit into January, to make their big move, and everybody knows what that is. And they can count on Biden to do nothing because, he's stirring up shit over there in Gaza, and he is stirring it up. But I'll tell you, America, I wish Israel would cut ties with the United States at this point, with this administration, and say, we'll catch up with you when and if Trump comes back. But how you're doing us now, you're making us into the enemy.
Yeah.
And we know why you're doing it, but we have other options. And it's astounding to me that these people have no idea that there are other options for people in the Middle East besides their way, their caliphate, their expansionist imperialism to take over all Christian democracies on earth and destroy the state of Israel with the help of communist Jews.
That's the plan.
The other Jews call me. I'll tell you. First, the right-wing Jews call me, and I said, and then the left-wing Jews call me. The other Jews, I call them the other Jews, and they're like, "You're this and that," and the Zionist, and they call me, and then the other Jews are calling me too. But it's like, it's. I hope that y'all will light the first candle with me tomorrow night, with the idea in the mind of being peace on earth, and in the beginning, in the mind of the mind and the heart of the Jewish woman.
I will do it with you, but first things first, you got to talk about our favorite sponsor. No, I'm not supposed to say that, but I mean it. They are
this is one of our favorite sponsors.
It's my favorite, not yours, but my favorite, because it's
Diet Smoke.
It's Diet Smoke. You have the thing there.
I know.
So now, would you please explain to people that on Hanukkah you do not partake in marijuana or anything, you're focused, but at the end of Hanukkah you plan on going on a full fucking bender with this stuff, right?
Huh?
Aren't you gonna smoke weed after Hanukkah?
During.
Oh, I thought you told me earlier today you don't do it during Hanukkah.
Oh, I do it from sun up to sundown, 8 days, 8 nights, 24/7.
What do you do?
Yeah, I'm on my Diet Smoke to lift myself out of this mundane, transient BS world up to, a higher plane up here where some more intelligence can enter, and I can channel it through to, actually think about other options besides what's on the table, because what's been put on the table is a bunch of bullshit. Because I know there's something smarter. I do. I know it. Anyway, I got a bag of their new mushroom gummies. Let me tell you, it was wonderful. I loved the Relax Buzz. With a wide range of strengths and doses, Diet Smoke promises to find the perfect product for you. Whether you want something strong to unwind, a boost of energy to keep you going, or a lighter option for a mellow high, Diet Smoke has you covered. They understand everyone is different, which is why they're dedicated to helping you find the perfect product. Their customer service team will be by your side, helping you along the way. Join the Diet Smoke community and discover the buzz for you. Visit dietsmoke.com today and use code RB50 at checkout to get 50% off any item, including the brand new lemonade mushroom gummies. Diet Smoke, your partner in finding the perfect THC and mushroom products.
Ooh, they've gone into the mushroom world. I didn't know that.
I
That's
can't
exciting.
wait to get on those mushrooms. You know, I tried mushrooms. I remember the first time I tried mushrooms, I was 65 years old.
Wow. Well, and what was it like? Tell the people the story. They love to hear this stuff.
Well, I was down there in Pahoa, Hawaii with my friend Shannon, and we were in a forest, a lava forest, which since was removed from the earth by the volcano going off and took that part of the whole island out, the lava forest. It was so beautiful. Luckily, I did take a lot of pictures I should post. But anyway, I went there to participate in my first mushrooms thing, and it was quite lovely. I took a machete with me because in case there was any hippies living in the
Wait, sorry. You did psilocybin and then walked into the forest with a machete?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. This is great.
Yeah. Well, because you never know, for them homeless jumps out behind the tree. You gotta have a machete if you're in a national forest up those parts, you know.
I could just imagine the news article when you go to fucking psilocybin infused rage and machete homeless people in Hawaii. How great that would have been.
Well, I would not be doing that kind of a deal.
Yeah.
That was only if they jumped out at me first. Hey, I got to put in my fake tooth for everybody to see. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Click it.
Is that something you put in whenever you want, or is this?
Yeah.
Or do you leave it permanently? Wait, I thought you just had a bunch of dental work that you were done. Why do you still have a tooth gap?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
I take it out when I eat and sleep. But look.
Oh yeah, it looks normal.
So now I can laugh.
All right, now take it out. I want to see it come out. I want to see what it looks like.
It hurts to take it out.
Okay.
It's weird to bite down on, but I'm glad I have it.
All right, one more thing to talk about. I know you're sick and you've done a tremendous job today. I think everybody's really grateful that you showed up.
I didn't even get to the point about the Hanukkah.
Oh, we can still do it. I just want to bring up one last thing, which is, and then you can talk about Hawaii, but just Hanukkah. Remind people that you're going to be speaking at Turning Point USA at AmeriFest on I believe, the 16th of December, and they can get tickets at tpusa.com.
Okay, what he just said.
There you go. Okay, so good job. It's going to be great, man. You're going to be on stage. You're opening the night, or one of the openers of AmeriFest, and that's where Tucker's going to be. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be fucking awesome. So congrats.
I know. Everybody I like that's nice to me is going to be there. Isn't that nice?
And we're going to film a podcast with Vivek Ramaswamy. MTG is on board. Jimmy Corsetti, I don't know, a lot of people know him, but he's pretty fascinating archaeologist. You can check him out. He thinks he's discovered Atlantis, and he's got some Antarctica stuff for you. Dr. Drew is coming. And the guest that we canceled, Kim Dong Dong, I forgot her name, darn it. She'll be here Saturday. So we have a lot of guests coming up. What's that? Kong Dong.
Funny.
She is. So she'll be coming. But anyway, thank you guys for sitting through our sick episode.
Too. She does have the good pot.
And she gave you mushrooms. Okay, you can.
Oh yeah,
you
she
can-
gave me mushrooms. Yeah.
Did you ever end up taking those? Because those were real mushrooms. They weren't like gummies. They were like actual dried psilocybin.
Of course I took them, and then I went on stage. She goes, "These are good if you're going to go on stage." And I took them, and I went on stage.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fun. I never took mushrooms and then went on stage. It was awesome.
Well, you
That's
did very
that
well.
Skank Fest.
All right, so wrap up with the last thing you want to talk about. You said you wanted to talk about Hanukkah or something. So now's your chance.
Yeah. The great thing is that the light of intelligence, it knows what to do. It doesn't need you at all, because it knows what to do, because it's intelligent. It's not all fucked up like you are and going in 30 different directions at once like a rat in a maze or nothing. It knows what needs to be done. And so that's what's so cool. If you open your mind to it, it'll just come in there and occur to you. If you open your mind to it, it will occur to you. It's really cool how it works like that. So open your mind and yeah, light with me for
World peace.
just for the magnification of light on the first night. Because the first night, they well, I have to tell the whole story of Hanukkah. So maybe I should do a whole other thing where I tell the story of Hanukkah.
Let's do it. Let's do a podcast on Hanukkah the next time, or at least a thing. Maybe we'll get some rabbi on or something. I think people.
No, let's do it right now. Let's do another.
All right, go ahead then. Wait, another whole other hour?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I gotta edit this and cut this and upload this tonight, so I don't think we can do that. Can you do it? Can you do it tomorrow?
Okay, then I'll just do 15 if you'll shut up.
All right, I'll be quiet.
Okay. So, what's so cool about Hanukkah is that the Maccabees, they were the hill folk, and they were real traditional hill folk, and they didn't like how they were doing down in the city, where they were kept moving farther and farther and farther away from tradition and taking in other people's ideas that were foreign and didn't lead to a good way to go. And so the Jews back then, they invented a way to get right to the heart of things, because they had like war going on simultaneously on 3 different fronts always. So they invented a way to get right to the very heart of things. And that is to just appreciate one night of the proper oil, enough for one night, just to appreciate that you found enough oil to burn for one night. That was their mentality. They were so happy that they had looked everywhere and couldn't find sacred oil, but at the very last minute, they found one container enough to burn one night, and they were so ecstatic. They found enough for one night, and they lit it. So with that in mind and that mentality, we should light, thinking, oh, we found sacred light enough for one night tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting that we do that. That'll be very exciting. And then we'll see what happens.
means be grateful and in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be wise for.
And aware.
Yeah.
Aware more than anything. Aware of where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And connecting to a source, a story, a memory is very powerful.
All right. And this podcast is going to air tomorrow, Thursday. So that's the first day of Hanukkah. We're saying tomorrow, but it's actually tonight, right? If you're watching this tomorrow. Okay. Well, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, world. I think that the victory of light is against darkness. It's fantastic.
Right.
All darkness needs to go as fast as possible. Amen to that.
I agree. Well, I'm glad you did this podcast. I know you're not feeling well, so if you want to rest, just make sure you get enough rest and leave your computer open. Do you have any final words to say? And then I'm going to read this ad. You don't have to do it. You can be done after this. But
okay.
Final words?
Yeah. It really bothers me when people are saying the Jews, because there are so many different kinds of us, and there's so many different mindsets of Jews, and half of us can't even stand the other half of us.
Yeah.
So stop saying the Jews, please. There are many kinds, and we don't.
They're all in.
We don't all have the same opinion. And we don't all believe that the Anti-Defamation League speaks for us, because they seem to ignore very important things and focus on very political things. And we don't dig that.
No, we don't. What they're doing to Twitter and Elon Musk is atrocious. And it's really kind of funny because they're saying that there's a rise in anti-Semitism, which there is. Because if you go on any college campus or follow any left-wing journalists, you'll see the rise. And they're saying that Elon Musk, because he doesn't despise Trump and conservatives, is the person pushing it. And just think about this for a second, because it's really, really funny. I've been thinking about this all week. There is a rise of anti-Semitism on social media. 95% of it's from the left.
Yeah.
And they're blaming Elon Musk because he doesn't hate Trump. Now, meanwhile, if you go on Instagram or any platform that he doesn't run, that's run by Zuckerberg, you will see much more vile anti-Semitism. It's not even comparable. And they're going after Twitter. They're going after Elon Musk because it's private owned, because he doesn't collude with the government, and because he's for free speech. So the ADL is actually disgusting, because they're going after him under the guise of anti-Semitism, but it's really to crush conservative voices and the truth from getting out. And that's why people hate the ADL. That's why I hate them. They're not.
Well, I think we need to remember the wise words of Bob Marley. Chase them crazy bald heads. I do not trust any bald-headed.
Yeah.
I don't, because why? I mean like a shaved head.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, I just don't trust a shaved head.
Yeah. All right.
Of my people, because my people, I mean, you're supposed to have something on your head. Even if it's just a little band around here, you're supposed to have something on your head. Right. You're removing that too, that you went too far for me. I don't know what I'm saying, but
that's the mark of the beast. You're saying bald people are satanic, I think is weird. No, I'm joking. It's the Jew that shaved his head.
Yeah. I think so, because like my grandmother told me about the chazer.
Yeah.
Holds out the hoof that's parted, so you think, I can eat this pig, but you don't know he only has one stomach, so you're getting tricked.
That's true. All right, a couple other things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that stuff. And also, we are going to start building up your locals page, Mom, which is where we're going to start doing private content. And you're going to start possibly doing live streams once a week with your fans. So follow my mother.
I'm gonna
on
start
locals.
praying for people because they really need me to start doing that for them. I know it.
Well, we want to make money, so say you're going to talk to people and talk to their stupid kids or show nudes or something.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you can pray for them. Then you can pray for them, but don't tell them.
Oh, well, I don't want to charge for praying for them.
Exactly, but you can pray for them. It's not charging. You can do streaming, live streaming, but it's subscription service. So
What about
maybe the
porn?
first
Which one do I get to do the porn channel on?
that you can also do on locals if you'd like.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people say to me every day, I wish your mother would do porn. If I had $1.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
Quite the opposite. Most people tell me to tell your hag fucking anti-Semitic mother to shut the fuck up. That's usually what I get.
See, they're just so hateful.
They are.
But yet not one of them, is out here in the arena, are they?
No.
But
Good
yours
point.
truly is in the arena, bitches. So kiss my fucking ass. I'll do what the Lord puts it in me to do and say, not you.
I love it. All right. Well, let me read this ad. You can leave your computer open. Say goodbye to everybody, and then thank you for doing the show, Sick. I know it wasn't easy for you.
Of course, I also want to say, of course, you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but there is a wealth of Jewish opinion that is being censored and needs to be heard, and needs to be included in the marketplace of ideas, where power sits and hears Jewish opinion, and largely it's only one Jewish opinion, and that's offensive to me. And that's why sometimes I perhaps get too loud with it, but I can sense that it's a globalist deal, and I'm not for that because I don't think that's beneficial to Jews or any other persons. Globalism is not beneficial to any ethnic people whatsoever.
Correct. 100% correct. Well said. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up with
Hey, see ya.
See ya. Don't close anything. So my mother has gone to a new gold company, and this is a sponsored ad, but it's really, really important. I want to talk to you about it real quick. As you know, the economy is not going to get back to where it was before. There's digital currency. Your money's under attack. We've talked about it before. It's a scary, scary time. Who knows what's going to happen with the dollar? And as you know, like my mother said, if they do crash and they find out we're getting closer to the Epstein client list, my mother said they will do anything to keep that out, including shutting the whole system down. So if that does happen, if there is a blackout, you're not going to be able to get to your money. You're not going to be able to withdraw cash. And honestly, cash will probably be worthless at that point. So I'm telling everybody, if you can, to move your money into gold and silver. A lot of people tell you, there's a reason we tell you, because gold and silver protects your wealth. It does not become obsolete like cash. You can transfer your IRA. You can do all sorts of stuff. It's not going to cost you a thing. It's just a better, safer way to have your money in gold and silver. There's a reason everybody's doing it, and it always happens when shit hits the fan, and shit's hitting the fan. So if you're interested, go to rblikesgold.com. There's a little questionnaire to fill out. You fill it out, they'll contact you. There's even deals they have right now. They will give $10,000 in free silver from Goldco when you visit the link. Of course, you have to sign up and spend a certain amount of money, but there is some free silver and gold into it. So again, that's rblikesgold.com. Check it out. Thank you everybody for listening. I want to thank my mother one more time, because I don't think you guys know how deathly ill she was. We had to cancel our podcast. We were going to not do it at all. She put it together. She's in bed. She put on makeup, and she delivered what I thought was a fucking fantastic episode. So Mom, thank you again. You're on camera. You look like you need to go to bed. All right. I'm going to close it. Thank you.